Hey, what's up? My name is Martin. I'm the creator of Super Mega Space Game. In this channel, I'm making Cocos Creator tutorials. This video will be about a 2D platformer game using Cocos Creator's 2D physics engine. So let's start. Okay, first of all, I will create a main game controller to set up our physics engine. And I will create a script in game control. Control. Okay, so I will drag and drop this component script to my node. So this will help us to enable physics engine. Clean things up. In onload function, we will add these lines. Yes, I will define physics manager variable with this line cc director.get physics manager. Then I will enable it via enabled equals true and set gravity to CCV2 0 and minus 2000. And this is I tried several options and this value worked better, so just use this. Okay, I save it and turn back to the project. Now let's design our platform levels. So I will create a box and make it ground. Let's use a color like this. Okay, then maybe a little larger. Okay, this will be our ground. Now we will add rigid body and collider components. I will use physics components, collider, box component, and make this component static. So we don't want to move the ground. Yes, it's fine. So let's add another box here. So we are going to make obstacles to jump over. Maybe we can use okay, yellow is fine. Okay, now rename it as obstacle. And add rigid body to this node. Physics component, collider, box. We will set this to static. Okay, now I will duplicate this one to make it a little bit fun. Maybe we can make this a little smaller because I think it's better now. These are obstacles and platforms. Yes, okay. So we'll have our hero here. This serious and angry guy. And I will scale it down to fit our scene better. And now I need to notify something. We have collision group manager. We can add groups here to organize collision map. So I will include only objects and walls, and it's fine just for this sample project. I will use wall group for static objects and objects group for my hero. Okay, now we will add collider to our hero. Physics collider, it's very important. If you use standard colliders, it won't work with physics, so you should add physics colliders here and make this dynamic and keep this guy awake all the time, so don't let sleep. Okay, this is fine. So we need to add another collider because we need to understand if it's touching on ground or not. So this will be our collider for body, hero's body. Oops, where is it? Okay, I'm trying to edit it to fix. Sorry, I need to edit this. Whatever, I'll keep it like this. Then I will add another physics component, box collider. Maybe we can adjust it like this. This will be our foot, like this way, maybe. So when this guy hits the ground, we will understand if he is on ground or not. For example, when you move in scene, you can touch in horizontal axis and you can still be flying in the air. So when you hit the ground, we will see if this collider collides to the ground or any other objects. So if this small collider hits something, we will understand it's on something and he can walk or jump again. Okay, so the only way to get which collider hit other colliders, we can use tags. So we have tag option on box colliders. I will use tag 2 to identify this small collider in feet. Okay, it seems fine. First, let's test it if it's working as expected for now. Fine. As expected, it's falling to the ground. Okay. Let's see if same thing happens on any platform. Good. Now we can add a player controller to control our character. I will add a script here, player control, and I'm gonna drag and drop this script to our character, golem character. Okay, let's edit this script now. I need to clean here to make room for work. Okay. So when we get a keyboard event, we need to listen it. We will add these two lines here. This is triggered by system event. System event.on key down, on key press this.ek press. So we need to define key pressed functions here. And same for key released. So we can track which key pressed and released. Okay. First start with key code equals event dot add key code. Okay. Switch. So we will check key codes here. So I will define a direction. So when we press right or left button, direction will be negative -1 or +1. So if direction is 0, our character will be static. Direction. Okay. So we will add these lines. If left key pressed, this dot direction will be -1. If right key pressed, it's going to be like this. So if same thing happened, but if we release keys on the left or right, direction will be 0. So I will add these lines for on key release. This will manage our direction variable. When we hit keys, it will define direction -1 or 1. If we release keys for left and right keys, the direction will be 0. So it's gonna stop walking. Okay. So let's add something to update function here. This is a little bit tricky. So we need to add a maximum velocity for x-axis. So let's go here and we're going to add another variable, velocity max x. So so we will apply force to our rigid body, but if it's enough, it has enough velocity, so we will stop applying force here. Let me copy another snippet from screen. Okay. So this is our update function. If this direction is greater than 0, so we should be walking right, and rigid body dot linear velocity x is smaller than velocity max x, or opposite, it will apply force to the rigid body based on the direction. So we should define rigid body here. Our rigid body is this guy. Rigid body, this dot get component cc rigid body. So we will get rigid body and use it in anywhere in the script. So it's better to get it once into a variable, because it takes time to find the component. If you call like this, it's a good idea to cache it here. Okay, so when we hit left, direction will be set here, or right set here. When we release key, direction will be set here, and update function will check if this direction is right and linear velocity is not large enough, so we will apply velocity to our rigid body. So let's check this out if it's working so far. Let's go. I'm hitting right, left. Oh, nothing happened. Sorry, we need to add walk force. I forgot it. I will define the walk force. This means how much force we will apply during a walk function. Okay, let's check that now. Right, left. It seems fine. Now we need to jump. Let's go for jump feature. So first, let's add our jump force. Jump force will be really a large number because we will apply it once we hit the up key. It will be applied only on one frame, so it should be really a big number to jump our character to the sky. So this is our up key function. If this object, this dot on the ground, so that means if our character is not already in air. So let's just keep it out and test to see what happens. When we hit up key, we will apply vector with y-axis jump force to our rigid body. Let's test it out. Right, left, and jump. Whoa! This guy is rolling around. So, wow, it's interesting. So, to prevent this rotation, there is an option here. In rigid body component, fixed rotation. If you click this, it's going to be only rigid in rotation. So yeah, keeps our character straight up. Okay, jumping are working now. So let me show you something. You will see if you will be able to jump infinite number. So we need to make this, we need to just let the character jump when his feet are on the ground. So how we can detect he is on the ground? Remember, we added another box component here, this one, for his feet. We are gonna add a variable here to keep if he's on the ground or not. Yes, this dot on the ground. So I will update these lines with this. If character is on the ground, it will apply force for jump and set it to false because we already jumped. And When he hit the ground, we need to set this dot on the ground true again to let it jump again. So here we will have a contact function on begin contact. This function will be called when rigid body colliders hit something, but to enable this we need to enable contact listener in rigid body component. This will trigger the on collision begin function when something happened on these colliders. So it will change on the ground variable to true if self collider's tag is 2. Remember here we say change its tag to 2. You can use any kind of numbers here, so I will use 2. The other one is 0, so this will be okay for us now. Let's test it now to see if it works. So I jump, I'm hitting up button, but he is jumping when we are on the ground. Hop, 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 out of screen. Yeah, it seems fine. Yeah, that's all for this tutorial. I will include project files in the description. Then we'll see in next videos. Bye bye.